Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Um, this is a this is a quick little review, or at least a couple of points to make to Rich. He he, wow, did he get this one wrong? And Rich is claiming a phenomena in the observations of the moon that apparently nobody else ever saw. Ever. He's claiming to have footage of this, and not only is he claiming to have footage of it, now he got it from another person here, apparently here in Germany. So, Hallöchen. Um, so let me just point something out here. Where is it? This guy right here. Gute Sachen. So you guys are going to excuse me for speaking a little bit of bad German here. Liebe gute Sachen, melde dich bei mir und ja, lass einfach eine Nachricht unter eine von meinen Videos. Wir müssen mal reden an wie deine Sachen benutzt wird. So, anyway, this video that Rich did, and let's not forget, Rich is a proponent, or at least a supporter, of Phuket Word. Okay, now here's something funny. Phuket Word has he already, well, aside from debunking himself, also has countered what Rich has said here anyway. Okay, so quite simply put, this was a long time ago, and Phuket Word and I went back and forth on this. Read this, Rich, because this was put out a lot earlier than your silly video today. Just reading this slide here, because I had Nick actually clarify this slide before we continued on our discussion. Let's see. The sun and the moon observed north of the equator both appear to rotate clockwise. Sun and the moon viewed at the equator do not appear to rotate, but they flip, meaning that you actually have to turn around to watch it go the second half of the night or day, depending on if you're doing the moon or the sun. And then the sun and the moon viewed south of the equator should rotate anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. Simple enough, right? And this is actually observations. It is an observed rotation, meaning that it doesn't actually rotate. It just appears to. From the time of moonrise and moonset, or sunrise and sunset, depending on which one you're watching. Now, in that very same discussion, that very same evening, Phuket Word put out this thing which actually debunked any discussion of a flat disk moon moving across the sky. Okay, and I've said this a couple of times before. Some people who've been around me a little while, he actually posted this video. I made almost the same video with a ceiling fan that was at work, and but he had already done it, so I decided to use his. And everywhere in flat Earth, you will see the moon rotate counterclockwise, whether you are north of the equator, on the equator, or south of the equator. Doesn't matter. You will always see it appear to rotate. Well, in this case, it would be rotating counterclockwise. Okay, so hey, Rich, you're supporting somebody who's putting to rest your own claim, but just figured I'd point that out. Now, Rich is claiming that the moon throughout the night, it rotates counterclockwise at first from moonrise till what he's calling the meridian, which would be actually lunar noon, and then starts rotating the other direction after it passes due south. Now, I'm not bullshitting on this. These are his words. Listen very closely.
Before we want to get into this video, I'd like to thank very much Steve at Teeth of the Lamb YouTube channel. Very good channel.
Whoops. Sorry, I'm trying to do the volume.
In Germany, and you will get his contact information here shortly. Before we want to get into this video, I'd like to thank very much Steve at Teeth of the Lamb YouTube channel. Very good channel with a lot of good content. I will put a link below. He's the one that found these counterclockwise rotations, these lunar jumps from a guy in Germany, and you will get his contact information here shortly. And as you're going to see, I'm going to describe field rotation first, and then we're going to take a look at examples of what this person in Germany also called. And we're going to see it makes no sense as far as field rotation goes, because field rotation must follow a rule every time. It must do the same thing, and if it doesn't, something's wrong. Let's get into the video. Now let's look at some of the rules that we would have to apply for field rotation, because these rules would have to apply each and every time when we see the moon in the sky. Here I have a diagram where the moon would rise in the east, set in the west, and of course if we're in the northern hemisphere, the center or the high mark in the middle would be the meridian crossing, which would be to our south. So what we noticed was we have the moon here.
Now let me point something out here for a second here, Rich. The meridian crossing that is stated on several astronomy and time moon tracking sites, etc., etc., etc. The meridian crossing that they're talking about is the prime meridian. You know, because some of the days it says the moon does not cross the meridian during this time period. The prime meridian being 0 degrees longitude, latitude, whatever. The line that goes north south through London. That's the meridian that's being spoken of. Now you could loosely say that every location has its own. You can call a meridian your direct north south line, but you know, come on, that's not the meridian that's being talked about. But anyway, let's keep going.
That rises in the east, and if you're going to say it rotates counterclockwise as it goes up like this, hopefully you can see the Sea of Crises here. It's rotated counterclockwise. Now I'm exaggerating some of these just so we would see how field rotation would have to work. Now this is what we've noted. It was actually pretty much from here to here we noticed a 20-degree counterclockwise rotation in the moon. So if that's
okay, so he is making the claim, and he's going to repeat this claim as well. He's making the claim that as the moon rises, it rotates counterclockwise. Okay, counterclockwise, which has, in the northern hemisphere, has never been observed by another human being, ever. It does not rotate counterclockwise. Now, he's about to make a claim here, and I really got to prepare y'all for this. You know, stay away from any sharp objects. Really, he's about to make the claim that all of this was done with an equatorial mount, but because Rich doesn't really know what an equatorial mount is and what its purpose is, and obviously very little information about field rotation as it states here, what you're going to notice here is he's actually going to say that it's equatorially mounted, which makes no sense because an equatorial mount is not a process. It's a thing, okay? It's not a verb or an adjective. It is a noun. It's an equatorial mount. And it is used specifically for the purpose of eliminating field rotation in photography and observations of, you know, stars, moon, sun. Okay, so and you'll hear him slip it up here in a couple of times, and it's actually funny. The closed caption tries to keep with him, but watch this.
It's the case because it's rising, and then of course when we get up to the apex, it's still rotating counterclockwise till it gets to the meridian crossing. we get the meridian crossing, and then what happens is we get a rapid, much more rapid shift the other way. As you can see, as the night goes on, this is what we note each and every time. From the meridian crossing on, this is what we note each and every time. So if you're going to call that field rotation, then you can stick with the rules and that works. However, what we have noted.
Okay, did anybody catch this now? Just as I just said, Rich's claim is that the moon rotates counterclockwise, or excuse me, its apparent rotation goes counterclockwise until it gets to lunar noon, and then it shifts and starts heavily rotating clockwise as it sets. So, I mean, think about that. Field rotation is called field rotation. It's not called field switcheroo. It's not called I'm going to turn whichever way I feel like it because I'm this particular body. Okay. Now, I have not looked through all of Gudasakun's photos yet, but I have not seen any evidence of this either. So, I mean, I looked through a couple of them, and at risk of doing another screw up, which I found out what the screw up was about the switching screens was last time, because I'm signed in with my account twice. I actually have to stop screen sharing altogether to switch to the other computer. But anyway, so let's continue. You're gonna love this.
Beforehand is different. What we noted back here, looking at these two, the second and the third one, when the moon was in the exact same phase, in the exact same part of the sky, 1 month later, from February 16th to, I believe it was March 17th, give or take a day, we recorded the moon, and we got absolutely no movement whatsoever. In fact, from the time it rose until it got all the way up to just about the meridian, we were recording, and there was absolutely no rotation in the moon. Again, the exact same phase, same part of the sky, same degrees above the horizon, and we got no rotation. And we got no rotation again on cameras that were equatorially mounted. Now, remember, when we first caught this rotation.
Now, on cameras that were equatorially mounted. Okay. Now, he's saying that he got absolutely no rotation on that. Now, if he's actually stating that somebody had a camera and he's just flubbing the words on an equatorial mount, then no, he's not going to get any rotation. Period. That's what it's there for. Okay, but yeah, epidural mounted. I thought that was funny too. But if he's actually using an equatorial mount, the photographer, then of course he's not going to get any rotation at all, because that's the purpose of the damn thing. Okay, so continuing.
Counterclockwise on the second to third position in the moon here, we got that 20-degree rotation almost instantly, and then for the rest of the night until we got meridian crossing, we showed no rotation whatsoever. And even after meridian crossing, in the two cameras we had set equatorially mounted, there was absolutely no rotation. To the unaided eye and to a standard mounted camera, we got the traditional rotation clockwise. So if you're going to claim field rotation, that's okay, but it has to follow the same rules every time. And what we're seeing is when we're at this part of the cycle right here, sometimes we get a rotation counterclockwise and sometimes we do not. It's got to follow the same rules every time.
Okay. Now he explained two different camera setups and also two different cameras. So what I don't understand is, where is there didn't somebody take a photo of these cameras on these equatorial mounts? I mean, that would obviously be some kind of a supporting thing. So he's claiming that there's rotation some nights in the wrong direction And then other nights, a month later, there's no rotation, and then you get all the rotation that you're normally supposed to expect. Rich, you got to understand, in the entire body of the entire community of amateur and professional astronomers, nothing like this has ever, ever, ever been recorded. As a matter of fact, if I were so inclined, right now we're at about what, half moon? I could go out and take photos of the moon throughout the night, but I'm just not gonna. And this occurrence would not occur. Period. Now, I don't have an equatorial mount. I wish I did. So all my photos would be oriented as top to bottom of the camera would be at the horizon, perpendicular to the horizon. So therefore, I would see a clockwise rotation. Period. So your graphics here are not helping you, and the photos that you're about to show from Gudasakam, they don't show there's nowhere in his video that shows that nowhere in that video does it show any kind of a mount that he's got his camera on. The cameras are of relatively different zooms and spaced kind of awkwardly apart, and nothing is supporting your claim other than the photos that you have, and that's not saying that the photos were even mounted on anything. So really, man, keeping going.
If it's field rotation, and it does not. And I can't rule out that this is the same every time either after we pass meridian crossing. Is it the exact same amount of degrees that it rotates each time? And it is much more rapid as soon as it gets there. So why is the first half showing either 0 or counterclockwise rotation, and the second half showing clockwise rotation? So if you're going to say this is a field rotation thing, it's got to follow the rules, and we already know it's not following them pre-meridian crossing. Okay, we're going to take a look at 2 different videos here. I'm just going to start playing this, and when we get to the part where I want, we will get there. This is going to show the what I just showed you with the field rotation. It's going to show you both before and after the meridian crossing, and it's going to show a counterclockwise sudden movement, just like we found. And this is thanks to Gutasaken in Germany. And I'd like to thank him for permission to use these videos. There will be links to these 2 videos down below. And I'm not going to play this all the way through. I just wanted you to see the different things he's showing. Now, he does have different sizes of the moon. And I have, as you will see, taken 2 of the ones I want to do videos here. I'm just going to start.
I want to see something here. Hold on.
When we get to the part where I want, we will get there. This is going to show the what I just showed you with the field rotation. It's going to show you both before and after.
Okay. On the 18th, 1700.
Meridian crossing, and it's going to show a counterclockwise
18th, 1900
movement, just like we found. And this is thanks to Gutasaken in Germany.
Now, 19th at 12:35 in the morning. Are you noticing that this is actually rotating clockwise, right?
And I'd like to thank him for permission to use these videos. There will be links to these 2 videos down below. And I'm not going to play this all the way through. I just wanted you to see the different things he's showing. Now, he does have different sizes of the moon.
You know what I'm saying? There, nothing here is showing him what he's talking about. Nothing. I mean, really, nothing here is showing it to you.
And I have, as you will see, taken 2 of the ones I want to particularly look at, and I have made them the same size, and I have also changed the contrast so we can see it a little bit better. But you can see there's both small and large jumps in the moon here, and some of them are very large in a very short period of time, and some of them are a little bit in about the same period of time, sometimes longer. And that doesn't make sense with field rotation either. It would be a steady rotation the whole time, and that's not what we see.
Clockwise.
You see it every time. So
Clockwise.
what you to see here is coming up. And this is at the, when you come to this video, it's called Centered Photos of Rotating Moon, January 14th to February 20th, 2019. So it doesn't look like I'm the first person that caught this, or the only person in the history of the world that has ever noticed this. Here we go. We are at the 1 minute 31 second mark. The Sea of Crises is right here. It might be hard to see. And note the time. It's 16:24. And guess what? This was the day after I caught the field rotation, me and Mike Ball, on February 16th. So this is 16:24. Now I want you to see the next photo as it gets there. 16:45. So in roughly 16:24. Now I want you to see the next photo as it gets there. 16:45. So in roughly what, 20 minutes, 21 minutes, we have a counterclockwise rotation.
Now it's pretty obvious given the what do you call it? The different zoom rates that are on these two photos. Dude was probably doing this in his hand. So what's your point? Is there a mount on this or is there not? Is it an equatorial mount or is it not? Okay, because things that other people have been accused of along the same line are tilting cameras and stuff like that. There's no reference points made here. Okay, other than, hold on, let me check something here. Now the phase looks like it's kind of looking down, I would say, at about 7:30, 8 o'clock there.
So this is 16:24. Now I want you to see the next photo as it gets there. 16:45.
Okay, and that is actually turned upwards. So the camera was actually turned. Okay, because as you go later in the day, the sun goes down. I don't need to remind you of that, Rich. As you go later in the day, the sun goes down. So therefore, the phase would not turn upwards at the same time. Okay? The phase would not turn upwards, period. So even though these might have been taken at different times, it doesn't mean that the angle of the camera was the same. So, really, man, this means he turned his camera a little bit to the right, like I said, intentionally or unintentionally. Excuse me. Intentionally or unintentionally. And, yeah, I'm sorry. The phase of the moon does not go like that. As you get later in the day, the phase of the moon will rotate clockwise from the northern hemisphere. It's observed every day, every single day. So, wait, hold on. Platonic wants a physical demo of what? What would you like a physical demo of, Platonic? I'd like a physical demo of Flat Earth. You know, one that actually works. I'll give you a minute to think about that.
So in roughly, what, 20 minutes, 21 minutes, we have a counterclockwise rotation. If you didn't notice that, you will see it here. Here it is. Again, they're different sizes. I fixed all that coming up. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. Alrighty, here's the two photographs right here. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. You can see 217 at 16:24, and the other one is a little bit more readable, 217 at 16:45. So in 21 minutes, we have a rotation between the two. Now, what I did was I took these photographs and I made the image appear to be the exact same size in both. Let me drag this down just a little if I can so you can see it. Now, you should be able to see with the naked eye that we've got rotation in 21 minutes counterclockwise, at least 20 degrees. At least. This is probably...
Okay, Rich, what I see. Now, if you wanted to say that the moon turned, that would be one thing. Okay. But you can't make the phase turn unless you move the sun. So these two pictures are obviously the camera, or the photo on the right, the camera was tilted. Serious. It's pretty simple. What does he want? Hold on. Concede. Oh, gee. Thanks, Riley. Hey, Platonic. Platonic. Do me a favor. Give me a calculator or a graph that is going to tell me how to predict flat Earth perspective. Now, you have to understand, I need the distances of sunrise and sunset. The height, obviously, of the sun or moon would have to play into that. And then, of course, the angles that would be involved gradually over time. And also, it has to make things not shrink, but disappear from the bottom up while moving things both left and right. Cool? When you do that, I'll entertain your gas on a ball thing, because it's almost impossible for you, obviously, to comprehend, because you've probably never driven over a hill and had your ears pop. What do you mean stop changing the subject? You're talking about a ball with gas around it under a video about photographing the moon. Moron.
Probably even bigger jump than what we caught. And again, in 24 minutes, let's see what it looks like when we drag this over. Going to the center again. Whoops. Sorry, grabbed the wrong one.
No, you don't, Platonic.
Down to the same area. What do you see? That might be 30 degrees rotation, 25 to 30.
Okay, well, it looks like Rich is basically basing this whole video on these two photographs.
Christmas keys. Again, Gutasaken is the same channel. And we're going to play this. And he asked a question right away. Does the moon rotate? So I'm the only one in the whole world that's ever noticed this, huh?
I just showed you that wasn't true.
Germany a little bit. So he's drawing a line across one of the other seas, and he's showing you that line. And it's 1:56 a.m. and now 2:01 a.m. on July 3rd, 2018. And he's got a few other photographs here. Oh, look, 3:31 a.m. What do we have? Counterclockwise rotation. The red on there is the orange. So look, moon rotated several degrees counterclockwise within 1.5 hours. Okay.
Okay. Well,
so this is
what I'm going to do.
Phenomenon that has been noticed.
Damn it! Stop. Here's what I'm going to do. Rich, you go out tonight. Photograph the moon throughout the course of the night, about every hour. It's a weekend, so you should be able to do it. Photograph the moon, but with a point of reference in the photographs, not being the moon. As in, with the moon, or with the horizon in it as good as you can, or telephone poles or something like that. Something that we can use as a point of reference. Okay, because you're basing your information on photographs that were made, and you can't even, aside from the fact that those lines aren't even to the center, but you can't even tell if those photographs, if the camera was mounted, if it was tilted, or anything like that. That's not meant to be a hit, but it is, that plays a factor in this game. All right? So let's see here. Let's see. Survive needs to photograph the cameras and how they were connected. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm saying. What do you call it? I want a photo of the mount. Gute Sachen, du sollst mir eine Foto machen von deiner Stabi oder so, oder oder was auch immer, dass du deine Kamera drauf hast. Das will ich sehen. Weil, ja, diesen Behauptungen, dass die Moon dreht in die falsche Richtung, das ist, ja, du kannst es nicht sagen, wann wir nicht wissen, ob die Kamera stabil war und auf was für ein Gerät, dass der, ja, verbunden war. Anyway, sorry. So I just, there's really no sense in going forward on this. Rich is claiming a snap in two different directions, which is obviously not happening, and nobody has ever seen it. Otherwise, shit like that would make the news. Okay, moon's turning funny. Okay, and there are thousands of people, probably right now, even at this moment here in Europe, who are looking up at the sky because it's a beautiful night. So Rich, ultimately, your claim is, number one, based on photographs that you didn't take, photographs that you can't tell what the mount was, and claims that were made by somebody else, yet you're claiming to be the first one to see it, getting the information from another video that's actually saying it to you. So come on, man. This is I mean, this is just as bad as your tinfoil thing. But so that's basically all we got, man. I mean, I can go on this, but he's basing all of his information. Now he's gonna. It looks like he tries to compare it to which direction the moon's supposed to be and all this other stuff. That's fine. You know, you can make that comparison, but the problem is that you can't make the comparison to the photographs because you don't know how the camera was held. Okay. The other night I went out with the camera that I'm going to be using for the bending water test. Okay, with Big Willie. I took it out there and I made a photograph. Actually, I made like 3 or 4 photographs. And I'll be honest, I was holding the camera in my hand. So 1 or 2 of them, they were kind of offset from each other. So, and it would be pretty silly of me to use that as information about the field rotation of the moon. So basically, and like I said, field rotation was already proven, flat Earth versus globe Earth, by PW, by Nick, the guy that you're supporting, and you are contradicting his information, which is really, really hysterical. So let's see here. Let me look at my chat here. There's apparently somebody who's trying to start a ruckus. Oh, it looks like he's gone. Darn. Must have touched a nerve. With what? Keep the insults coming. Hey, man, if that's what you like. No sign of curvature anywhere. Well, go outside. Let's see here. Go to channel. Oops. You know where else there's no sign of flat? Let me go ahead and show you this. Let's see here. I will stop presenting that one. Let's see here. Don't stop presenting. Okay, that should stop him from presenting. Stop presenting. All right. Now, let's talk about people who actually have, you know, who like to come to my channel to claim that they have something to say. Share. Okay, does everybody see that screen? Everybody see this screen? Okay. Platonic. This is why I won't listen to you. This is why I want information from you before you start a discussion with me. And most of my subscribers will actually demand the same of you. Okay? Basically, when I see this channel doesn't have any content, and yet somehow you still have 2 subscribers. 2 people found your channel interesting, which means that this is probably a sock account for something else. Oh yeah, this is a sock account. So who is this? Riley? Who is this? Come on, out with it, man. Can't be Riley. I don't have Riley blocked. Who is it? I want to know who this is. This is a brand new account. This was made in February of last month. I want to know whose this is. It could be Riley, but I'm not certain. The Waking Warrior? Are you calling your are you mocking Riley, or are you trying to improve your stance because you called yourself sleeping? His his best friend is a big purple dildo. Come on, who is this? Out with it. It's a brand new account, man. You can't hide this. It's a brand new account. That means that you are a sock for somebody else. Who is it? Come on, out with it. You ain't getting away with it, man. Because I mean, if you don't answer, I'll just block you off my channel. I don't give a shit. It's not like you've said anything worth anything. Come on, Putz. Anybody managed to get there? There. Hello, Platonic. You got my attention now. If you want to answer this or not, it's up to you. Who? What is your main account? Sleepwalking Warrior. And by the way, Platonic, even though you're making comments now, if I block you off my channel, they won't show up in the recorded comments. So go ahead. You can try and squeeze in your last couple of words. I'll just knock you off my channel. I don't give a shit. You ain't nothing but another troll to me. If you don't want to own up to who you are and actually come over here with your real account and be accountable for your words. You won't silence. All right. Well, let me remind you on your way out the door here, Platonic. Like I said, if I block you, all of these words, you think you're getting a couple of licks in and stuff like that. All these words that you're saying right now will actually not show up in the recorded comments later. So you won't be getting the best of anybody, and I'm not even advertising you the chat right now as far as putting it up in the video. So either you own up to who you actually are, and then come back with your actual account, or I'll just bump you off anyway. No, you didn't silence him. You just deleted one message, bro. Come on, Platonic. Tell you what. I'll give you 1 minute. Out with who you are. Or not. It's up to you. Because a brand new account like this is a brand new account. This means very recently it was made for whatever reason. I don't know the reason. Don't care. So come on. And I looked up. He only deleted one of your comments. You're not muted. Clock's ticking, dude. Yes, you spelled that correctly, Sam. Was hidden. What? Hold on. No, I saw just message deleted. It says message deleted by Sean Hubbard. That's all. Well, there's another one, and then another one. God damn, did you just go through and delete like all his shit? Or maybe that's how it shows up when he got muted. Or hidden. Well, can't say I didn't give him chances anyway, so I don't give a shit. Let's see here. Where is he? So, because I don't need other people to do it for me. Oh, unhide user. I didn't know I could do that. Haha. Okay, so I'll do it one more time. 1 minute. Say who you are, or just get yanked off my channel again. Again. No, dang Joss, I didn't see him either. Come on, man, you're unmuted. This is your big chance. Say who you are. As a matter of fact, I could actually just report your channel for abuse. Less than 30. That's true. That is assuming that he's still here. Yeah, I still got him in the user list. But that might have been just because he had already contributed. All right, well, I guess. Oh, there he is. They're not the same size during the eclipse. Look up Ring of Fire Platonic. And thank you for not having the balls to say who you actually are. And thank you, of course, because you were unable to provide a logical argument from your side. I thank you for supporting the globe. So I just yanked you. I did that because I did that. Fucking moron. So anyway, ultimately, this was supposed to be just a video about Mr. Thrive and Survive. Rich, man, you know, I just learned something about you, Rich. I can give you photos of anything and line them up any way I wanted to and make you believe whatever the hell I wanted. I really can. Because if you're going to make a video based on photographs that you did not see the mount and you did not notice how the photos were actually taken, then actually, in my eyes, you're just a moron. And like I said, gute Sachen, melde dich bei mir. Because we need to talk. All right? So, that's all I really had. Oh, small announcement, which will be followed by a larger announcement later this week, this coming week. I'm not going to make an update video individually for it until it happens, but the pipes for my big test have been ordered. They were ordered today, and they will be, it said 2 to 5 working days they should be here. So that could push it all the way out till Friday. Don't really know. And, but I will put out a big update on there. There's only 4 days left on the fundraiser itself. And then I can, which is actually going to occur right around the same time. Somebody had actually fronted me the last little bit there. So let's see. Ganesian, 8mm for the ground pipes and 14mm for the uprights. So that's all on the way. And I'm hoping I don't have a Brody moment when they show up because I drive a sedan. So we'll have to see what happens there. I already kind of hinted to Geo because I'm actually heading down that direction next weekend. And yeah, I'm going to answer that question in a second. And I might actually bring like half of them down, depending on how big they are. I might actually be bringing half of them down to Geo's apartment so he can, what do you call it? So he can store them for the test. But Geo doesn't, even though he's in the chat, Geo doesn't know that he's going to be used as a storage bin, at least for a part of them, because I'm going to really need his help. Let's see. Now, I just saw a question there. Sly, did you take Bob's suggestion for the experiment into consideration? Two things about Bob's words about my test. Number one, Bob keeps on talking about perspective as if it was something that could be avoided, yet will not say how it's going to affect the test, other than things get smaller in the distance. However, things do not create a bulge as they get smaller. And thanks, Gio. And the other part is the side-on view. As I said before, the side-on view is absolutely worthless to do. I am going to actually make that film, though. I am actually going to film that. I'm going to take my drone out and get that in 4K. I'm going to take a 4K shot of that. But ultimately, it's not going to show anything. It's not going to be anything of value. It really isn't. But that's just what that is. Hold on a second here. I gotta look at something. Sean, that would be awesome. That would truly be awesome. Let's see here. But yeah, a side view of the test stretch. I invite everybody to do this. Really, I invite everybody to do this. Get out a ruler, measure out 1.60 meters. Okay. Now take every 10 centimeters, put something up that is 2 millimeters high. Okay. 2 millimeters. Now that will, and then back your camera up so you can get that whole thing, that whole 1.60 meters in your photo. So show us, don't keep talking us to death. Who the fuck are you? Hey, Alvin, who the fuck are you to tell me to do anything? Or Harry? Who the fuck are you? Come on, Alvin. Another idiot who wants my attention. You got it now. Quit talking us to death. You ever watched a Glowbusters episode? They talk for 3 hours and don't do shit. Hold on a second here. Go to channel. Oh, wow. Guess what? Alvin is another person who's got tons of research to back up his mouth. Let's find out when this one was created. Oh, this guy's been around a little while. Might not be a sock. Show the side view. Do you want to know what the side view of a 1,600 meter stretch would be with 2 meter pipes? Do you want to know what that would show? Do I have, because I just explained to you what the scale version looks like. I don't YouTube my research. Oh, do you have research? Because that would make you much more credible in my eyes. Do you know how tall. I'll tell you what. Okay, you claim to do research offline. Fine. Alvin, if I have a camera that has a 78-degree field of view, I have a test length of 1,600 meters, and along that test length, I have 2-meter high tubes that are only going to show action on them within 2 inches or about 5 centimeters. Okay, so using all that information and shooting in 4K, I want you to tell me the exact angle you would expect to see the bulge of the curvature of that water. I'll wait. 130 miles? That's not pixels. Answer my question. Don't go there, Ganesian. Come on, Alvin, answer my question. You want my attention? You got it. Answer my question. You want me to show a side view? Answer my question. How many pixels is that bulge going to represent given those parameters? Do I have to get out the clock? Well, I did give him a lot of math, so I'll give him 2 minutes. 2 minutes, bud. It won't be done. Oh, I'm going to make the film. I just want you to tell me right now how many pixels in a 4K view with a 78-degree field of view is uh is 5 centimeters going to be. Fernacki, well, I've had oh, you're driving. Oh, so how was I going to show you anything then? Moron. Let me give you your answer. Okay? And you can contest me on that. Okay? The entire tubes, the 2 meters worth of tubes, are going to be just over a pixel. So that means all of the action of the curvature over the 1.6 kilometers taken in a full frame shot with a 78-degree field of view is all going to occur in less than 1 pixel. Actually, it turns out to be about a tenth of a pixel. So exactly what use would that be in a photograph? Please tell me. I'll stop the clock because he's driving. But I'm only going to give you a chance to respond once. Come on, Alvin, quick. Alvin. 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 Bet they didn't expect to do homework. No, they don't expect to do any work. Period. Alvin. Is it annoying that I'm holding you accountable for your words? I'll bet it is. You know, because one-way standards don't work on my channel. Alvin. Okay, well, it appears that Alvin doesn't want to respond. So, yeah, he's in the tunnel looking for curvature. Anyway, it appears Alvin doesn't want to respond. So, I guess, you know, that's up to him. And yeah, I don't think I need Alvin around here anymore because I gave him enough chance to respond. He seemed to have no problems punching out the comments when he was demanding proof of things, but when I ask him a question, oh, he's driving and he can't respond. So, sorry about that, guys. I'm going to go ahead and yank Alvin here. Bye-bye. Send Simon. I think he was smarter. So, anyway. So that's that's really all I had. Thought I'd give a couple of minutes to the chat here and see what kind of resistance I was receiving. Obviously, wasn't receiving very much. So, like I said, gute Sachen. Give me a holler. Rich, you're a moron for presenting stuff that you claim to be as evidence, which nobody on this planet has ever observed, ever. And by the way, learn what it means when you're talking about lunar time and where the meridian is. So, yep, as usual. Exactly, you. So, ladies and gentlemen, meine Damen und Herren, I wish you guys all a wonderful evening. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend here. So, yeah, exactly. Who's next? And look forward to my video coming up showing when the tubes show up. And hopefully I won't have too much of a surprised look on my face when I see how much storage I'm going to need, or at least storage capacity in the car for the ride. So, goose cut. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Good night.